How much was the biggest bet you ever wagered? If you're heavyweight champion Tyson Fury or millionaire YouTuber turned boxer Jake Paul, then you can afford to bet big money. But did they really just bet $1 million on Tyson's stepbrother Tommy? Plus, what does Anthony Joshua need to beat Alexander Usyk? And who is Canelo Alvarez eyeing up after his trilogy with Triple G? Stay tuned, because all of that and more is coming right up. When you're confident in something, you bet on it. But the stakes of Tyson Fury's bet may have gone a little higher than he wanted to when he offered a $100,000 bet on Tommy to beat Jake Paul. Well, that's all the invitation that Jake Paul needed. Paul is set to fight Tyson's stepbrother Tommy Fury in a highly anticipated fight. It will be the first professional boxer that Paul has faced in the 5 fights that he's had. He has so far knocked out 4 of his opponents, including ex-NBA player Nate Robinson and UFC champions Ben Askren and Tyrone Woodley. He's also so confident that he can do the same to Tommy Fury that he accepted Tyson Fury's bet and even raised the stakes. In a video posted to Twitter, he said, "Hey Tyson, you made $40 million. I know it wasn't as much as me, but let's up the ante. Let's bet $1 million on it. Tyson, $2 million, $3 million. However much you want to fucking bet, let's do it." The heavyweight boxing champion agreed to the $1 million bet, but said that he's not convinced Paul has the money to bet. Then, just days later, Paul accused Tyson of backing out of the bet. He said that Tommy Fury was hiding after running into complications trying to leave England, and Tyson's lawyer never replied to Paul's team about the bet. It's just part of the online back and forth between Fury and Paul camps that has been happening for months. The two were set to fight on the 6th of August at Madison Square Garden, but after Fury was denied entry to the US, everything is up in the air. Now, a furious return. As for Tyson Fury, his boxing days might not be different either. After defeating Dylan White earlier this year to defend his heavyweight title, Fury announced his retirement. And since then, he's even floated the idea of a crossover fight with UFC heavyweight champion Francis Ngannou. But now Fury has revealed that he will be returning to the ring again. When he was asked if he would be fighting again in the interview, he said 100%, just like in the movie when Jerry Maguire shouted, "Show me the money." He wouldn't discuss exactly which opponents he's thinking about, though one of the rumored opponents is professional strongman, half-Thor, Thor Bjornsson, with the two exchanging words back and forth on social media. The two clearly have respect for each other and have met each other before, but an exhibition fight looks like something they're both open to. What Tyson has ruled out is any potential of a matchup against Alexander Usyk or Anthony Joshua to unify the heavyweight belt. These two will fight each other in a rematch after Usyk toppled Joshua to strip him of the title last year. Ahead of the rematch, Tyson Fury has actually offered to help train Joshua. Fury said that without his help, Joshua doesn't have the engine to box for 12 rounds. Joshua has rejected the offer and responded by telling him to go and have a beer, and Fury definitely has had a beer or two. He was snapped shirtless at a night on the town at a Liverpool pub. Coming up, how does Joshua plan to beat Usyk this time? And the rivalry between Triple G and Canelo is starting to heat up, so don't go anywhere. Now, the task ahead. To reclaim his title, Anthony Joshua has a mountain to climb. Alexander Usyk is a battle-hardened warrior. Literally, he returned to his home of Ukraine in February to help defend his country against the Russian invasion. Usyk has spoken about the horrifying experience of war when he was just praying not to be killed or to kill other people. Compared to that, his fight against Joshua is child's play. He said he intends to return to his country as soon as the fight is finished, but he revealed that soldiers will not let him go to the front line and will try to keep him protected. Usyk is seen as an important ambassador for Ukraine, and if he defeats Joshua, then he could be in line for a fight against Tyson Fury. One of Fury's opponents, Deontay Wilder, has tipped Usyk to beat Joshua again, but Joshua's promoter Eddie Helm has said that his home field advantage could be one of the biggest factors. Hearn said, "Joshua's comfortable here. He had a great experience beating Andy Ruiz here." AJ has said that he isn't taking anything for granted and that he has made a number of adjustments to improve his weaknesses. The first time they met, the Brit was dominated by Usyk virtually from start to finish. But this time, Joshua said that he's excited to get tough with Usyk and do some more damage instead of trying to be too tactical. He said, "I do miss the days of slicing people's faces open and hurting them, for sure, so I'm looking forward to getting back to that." This could be a very different AJ than we're used to seeing. Down at the super middleweight division, things are heating up between Canelo Alvarez and Gennady Golovkin. They're set to face each other in a trilogy fight later this year after a draw in the first fight, and Canelo came out on top in the second fight. It's Golovkin's only loss in his professional career, and one that he needs to avenge. Their first fight ended in a controversial draw that many thought Golovkin won. The second time out was close again, but the judges gave it to Canelo by majority decision. Since losing to Canelo in 2018, he's been on a 4-fight win streak, with 2 of those coming by knockout. And for Canelo, things are starting to get personal. He launched an X-rated tirade at his Kazakhstani opponent on TMZ where he attacked Triple G's character. He said, "He's a fucking asshole. He's not honest. He pretends to be a good person and be different, but he's not." Canelo went on to say that Triple G has not shown him the respect that he deserves and is looking forward to trying to end the fight quickly. Canelo only has 2 losses in his professional career. The first came at the hands of Floyd Mayweather back in 2013, and the second to Dmitry Bivol earlier this year. While the Mexican said that he's totally focused on beating Golovkin a second time, he's looking ahead to a rematch with Bivol too. He was completely frustrated when he faced the Russian boxer Bivol. During the closing rounds of the fight, Canelo's trainer Eddie Reynoso warned him that he couldn't knock Bivol out because of the size difference. Eddie Hearn, who represents Canelo Alvarez, gave an insight into the future opponents for the Mexican and who they might be. 2 of those are David Benavidez and Jermall Charlo. Benavidez is undefeated in 26 fights and currently holds the WBC interim super middleweight title after his latest win against David Lemieux. He was also the youngest super middleweight belt holder of all time when he first claimed it back in 2019 at the age of just 22. Canelo will have his work cut out for him against a younger and possibly hungrier fighter. Canelo is 31 years old and has already had 61 fights. A second option after fighting Golovkin could be Jermall Charlo, who is the undisputed light middleweight world champion, holding the WBC middleweight title with an undefeated record of 32-0. Charlo might have a worthy claim to set up a fight with Canelo, but according to Hearn, fights like Benavidez and Charlo don't interest Canelo. Instead, he's looking for a challenge. At the start of the year, he was focused on moving up into super light heavyweight when he faced Dmitry Bivol for the WBA title. Unfortunately for him, his journey up to a higher weight class was fruitless when Bivol shocked the favorite with a unanimous decision. Now, Canelo is being advised to stay at the middleweight and protect his legacy as one of the best to ever grace the division. There are not that many left in the weight class for Canelo to prove himself against. Who do you think Canelo should fight next? Let us know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.